going on?
We're having technical difficulties.
Jesus Christ. You are insane.
Yo, what is up, fuckers? Welcome back to another episode of Pillar Thriller. I'm Justin.
And I'm Romo, and we're Pillar Thriller, getting back to trying to get some content out to y'all. It's been 2 weeks since our last episode. Trying to get back to weekly drops. Not only weekly drops, but several drops a week. So we're getting to it. We got babies and stuff. And got a lot of stuff going on in life.
He does, man. Congrats on your new house, bro.
I appreciate it. I know it's a big thing. I've got so much dang yard work. I'm going to be out there in a tank top, jean shorts, and New Balances, trying to tear up that yard when I move in.
You already in them dad clothes on, huh?
Yep, and one of us is actually a dad. Ain't that right, bud?
Hey, man. I got a cute-ass kid, bro.
Yep, which when he is a little older, I'm sure Justin will randomly put him on Pillar Thriller episodes just because that's what Justin does, and that's how it's going to go. But Justin's kid is freaking adorable.
You can put Roman on these episodes right now.
I could. He's sleeping, though, thank God, for right now. He's been good this week. Roman is my puppy. For those that don't know, I have a 13-week-old dachshund. He's phenomenal, but he is hell on wheels when he's awake.
Fucking cute, man.
Thanks, man. He's tiny.
Cute, bro. He's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm glad. And it's crazy because he looks way like bigger in the picture that you send. And I'm like, so then like when I see him, you know, and when I finally saw him in person, I was like, oh my God, this motherfucker's small.
Yep. He was with me on the couch when we were watching the movie that we're covering with this episode. And Justin,
did he enjoy it?
He did. He fell asleep. But I didn't fall asleep.
He did not.
I was locked in. I know. So you want to introduce what we're covering this week?
Let's get to our sponsors.
Let's do the sponsors first.
Everyone
already knows what we're covering in the title anyway, but
that's true. That's true.
Just go ahead.
Yeah. Volante, Megan, TT, what it do? At Haunt Junkies. Follow them on IG. Much love.
We got Just Be Kicking It. Take out the B. Just Kicking It. But the B is still there, Brandon Jack. And he's still got your clothes, your sneaker knowledge, your podcast, Just Kicking It shop. Go check out his page.
And he cleans shoes. If you want your shoes cleaned, hit him up, bro. He's got a lot of things going on. So
revive them. Revive any shoes. You think they're dead? He'll revive them. Yeah.
Eric from He's Crafty. What is up, my dude? He's also working on a set remake right now. He's put up a couple things. So go check it. But his stuff is cool, bro. Like, guys, if you haven't seen any of his stuff, he does some really, 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 really cool do-it-yourself things. He did the I can't think of the thing that it's called, but it's from the from Stranger Things, little flower alien looking thing.
Oh, the Demogorgon.
Yeah, he had it. He built his own. Yeah. So y'all we gotta check that shit out.
Okay. Last but not least, what's behind you?
Kosi Jude Chima. Borings _ Millie. Hit that dude up. Fun fact, I have not spoken to him in months. So
we just keep shouting him out though. Yeah,
we just shouting him out. You know what I'm saying? And we'll just shout out Pillar Thriller for a second, you know.
Us.
We know. That's what we do. So
that's us.
Yeah, literally that is us.
All right, I think people are getting bored of us talking shit.
Yeah. So let's get into it. I don't have a beer tonight, guys.
Mm-hmm. What do you got?
I was shot of Jack.
All right, cool. I have a beer. But you know me, I'm almost halfway through this thing.
Is that a platinum?
It is a platinum. They do damage.
You can get a good buzz, you know.
Damage.
You know.
Yep.
So, but I got a Jets shot glass. If y'all don't know, I'm a big Jets guy. So I've been Romo and my other friend Visa, but they've actually been very annoyed with my tweets. It seems like. So I've been tweeting like crazy about the Jets. Anyway,
I did mute some of those hashtags, so it worked out somewhat until you stopped hashtagging stuff. All right. Anyway, to an amazing episode.
Yes,
Y'all
sir.
probably know from the title, but we're going to introduce it right after this.
All right, cheers, bro. Jack.
All right. That was good. That was good. All right. So, Justin.
What up?
Reigning with a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Is it still 96?
It was 96 last I checked. Directed by Ty West, with a stellar cast. We are covering X. And there's so much more that we can say just in that intro, but we're going to save it for the content. But we were pumped to watch this. A lot of people were hyped up about it. The trailer looked dope, and it was a very unique plot line that was really being introduced in this, and what feels like just a standard slasher from the trailer. And then you read the synopsis and you're like, what batshit crazy stuff are they going to bring with this? But it has a star-studded cast, man. And I think that's part of the intrigue to me, along with Ty West being the director, of course.
You got Kid Cudi in there.
Yeah, A24 produced also, which, Hereditary, Midsommar, massive name behind this. Yeah, Kid Cudi playing Jackson Hole, which is actually my favorite name of any character in the entire movie. And then we got Jenna Ortega, who's playing Lorraine. Mia Goth, who plays Maxine, and also the old lady Pearl. Did you know that?
Yeah. Okay. So that's okay. I want to get on that, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
I do have a question about that. So,
we got Martin Henderson playing the old Texas guy, the director. He's hilarious. Yep. He's probably my favorite. And then we'll say Owen Campbell plays RJ, the cameraman, and Steven Yeun plays Howard. So that's like the main peeps you see. And you see a crocodile in there.
Brittany Snow is my favorite.
Oh, Brittany Snow. I forget Brittany Snow. Bobby Lynch. She's an okay-looking woman.
I had a really big crush on her when I was younger.
You had a big crush on like every actress.
It's not true.
It's pretty true. It's pretty true.
Okay.
But
let's get to it, bro. All right. So first things first, I just want to say I was really excited for this movie just because of the cast itself. Yep. Honestly, prior to you bringing it up, like about a month ago, I hadn't. Are you drinking wine?
No, it's a Guinness.
Oh, okay. I hadn't had. I honestly didn't realize that this was out. Mm-hmm. I had no idea. Like I had when you told me about it, and you're like, "Oh, these people are in it." I was like, "Okay." So I looked it up, and then you showed me the cast, and I was like, "All right, I have to watch this." And on top of that, I think at that time, you had told me it was like a 98, like when you had told on Rotten Tomatoes. Not that we do
maybe it's 96. It's been above 95% every time I've looked.
Yeah, so not that because a lot of times Rotten Tomatoes have like horror movies in like the 60s, and we still find it really good. So
they've been more generous with the more well-produced stuff recently.
Yeah, and we don't typically go off of that, but just to see that it was in the higher 90s, that was cool. So I was like, this is it's intriguing.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch the trailer before I watched this movie, so everything to me came as a surprise.
Because this is one we wanted to do a trailer reaction of, we never got around to, and then it came out, and we're like, let's just do an episode.
Yeah.
It did get a theatrical release, and then not long after was available for rent for the $20 theater at home action that you get.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic if you're not able to leave because you have a puppy or a baby.
Yeah. They should just do it all the time with everything.
Yeah, I think Disney and certain other studios are the only ones that are not doing that right now, or not waiting a short period of time before that. But anyway, this being available so soon is great because I feel like it's still being watched. Like people are still picking it up and seeing and hearing about it. The audience score on Rotten Tomatoes is like 75%, which I always think is a better indicator anyway. Yeah. That's kind of what actually people are thinking about this movie. And I felt pretty good about that rating after watching it.
It's still wait. The 96?
I said the audience score.
Oh, the audience. Okay, yeah. That's fair. So going into this movie blind is kind of crazy.
Yeah, give me first impressions. First impressions. Should we lay out just what this movie's about?
Yes. Go ahead. Yeah, you go ahead. You tell.
Okay, I'll do it. This is usually Justin's wheelhouse. This kind of random shit that are some movies, but it is all this group of friends, and you get this setup of them going in their van, and they're going out to rent a cabin essentially on the property of this older couple, and they're going there to make a porn. They're going there to make an adult film. It's not what I was expecting when I was reading the synopsis and everything. And seeing who was in it, I was like, Kid Cudi playing Jackson Hole again. Best name I've ever heard in my entire life. And the fact that they didn't tell the older couple that they were staying or having multiple people, that is part of the intrigue. Like, okay, they just show up with all these people and then shit goes crazy. But a lot of this movie starts with you're just watching them film the movie. Film the adult film.
Probably about a good 30 to 40 minutes was just a lot of fucking, right? It was like, so I was like, what the like, honestly, that's so that's why it was weird to me, because like the first 30, 40 minutes, I'm like, they should have just like, it's like a soft porn for somebody like Brittany Snow and Kid Cudi, right? Like that's essentially kind of what it was. We saw
it had a lot of comedy in it too. Yeah, like comedic timing lines and everything.
I found it odd. And then it really didn't start, to me, it didn't really start getting interesting until that old lady was telling that guy, like, yo, I want to, like, let's fuck, let's do this. Let's like, I want you. And he's like, no, you can't. You know that I can't do that right now. Like, he's in, so like so these two people the old people that he mentions, they turn out to be batshit crazy. Like, so one of the things I loved about this movie was just the complete violence and gore that that you immediately saw. From not immediately, because obviously like you were watching mainly porn during the 30, 40 minutes. But like
I'll argue that, because pretty early you see them run over that cow and the cow gets hit by the car. I have that noted as one of my favorite gore moments. Not related to a kill. That is fantastic makeup.
That's fair. That's very fair.
But I see what you mean. It takes time after that to get into those gory kills.
Yeah. And so when like you see like this old lady just standing in front of that van, you're like, yo, get the fuck out of the way. Like, what's up? Like, and then you knew something was gonna happen in that moment, but you still didn't know if that made sense. Like, like it was like, whoa, this old woman's crazy. She's really, really fucking horny. Like, what is her problem? Like,
that's what I get. I didn't think at first that the couple was that crazy until she sees Mia doing her scene.
Yeah.
And is like,
she's watching.
Yeah. And then that's where shit hits the fan.
Yeah. And I was like, so I'm like, what is happening right now? They're going to try to help her. And instead she just pulls out this knife, bro. And that's when I go, oh, that's when everything flipped for me there. Like that was the moment that got me. Cause like I said, I was kind of expecting something crazy. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. That scene is amazing because RJ, the filmer, the cameraman, is leaving because Jenna Ortega, her character Lorraine, had just wanted to actually film a scene in their movie, and they're dating. Or I can't remember if they're dating or he has a crush on her, but he leaves.
Yeah, he didn't want to. Like, he didn't want to film that shit. He was like, "Fuck this."
Yeah. And then when he's getting stabbed in the neck, she's repeatedly stabbing him in the neck, and you see the progress of it happening. Like, it's brutal.
That is
brutal. And the red light comes on, and like they do that several times in this movie. They just go flush red.
Yeah, yeah.
And it works.
I noticed that a lot.
Very interesting design.
It was it's part of their color palette. It was cool. Like it was because it wasn't just that. You did see flashes. Like, I know what you're saying, but you saw red throughout. Like if you go, but it was that shit was wild. Like,
yeah. So overall, what'd you think?
So honestly, like I probably could have gone the first 30 minutes like without like they could have probably segued into that like in a different way, in my opinion. Like it's just that
Less of the softcore stuff.
yeah, like that's like even if you wanted to go softcore, like hey yo, let's film this porno, like we didn't need to actually like maybe see that. You know what I mean? Like it's you could have done something like yo, we really need to film here, and then trans like you can. So when you start filming, you say action.
Mm-hmm.
You start it at first, but then you transition into like the outside door or going outside, and you just hear
Selling point though.
yeah, sex.
Say we watch it and we tell friends, hey, Brittany Snow has all these scenes in there. People are let me put this
Yeah.
like, selling
That's
point.
yeah.
Women, Kid
Sells,
Cudi.
bro. Sex
It
sells.
does.
Yeah,
It does. It does pretty well.
and I get it. You know, when I start filming movies that I write, I'm gonna want a lot of boobies in there.
Well, I feel like it was like with that plot, you could go all out on it, and I feel like they at least did. They at least went all out in that
No,
direction. If it's going
and
to
I
be a
was gonna say
weird twist on a slasher, why not?
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think that was cool. Like that the fact that they said fuck it, let's just do it, and so they did it, and I was like, that's something I really respect. You know,
Mhm.
and honestly, in a lot of horror movies, you do see a lot of tits. Like I'd probably say about 80% of the movies that are horror you see that are rated R involve naked women. Like, like yeah, it's like I guess it's almost like a staple. But I aside from that, bro, like once the killing started happening and things started to tense up more, that's when I really started to really like enjoy it more. It was still weird, it was still weird, and I had no idea that the old woman and the young chick were the same people.
Isn't that incredible? I didn't realize that until after I had watched the movie, and I kept looking to see who had played the older lady, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I had to go after we talked about it. I had to go find. I was like, oh shoot, that was actually what happened.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a really interesting thing, and there's more to that. I think that meets the eye that she's playing her, and I want to get to that down the line. But
Yeah.
I felt like also, we freshly have watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the requel that we watched the other day, and I felt like that's set in modern day, right? But then you think back to like the original one in the '70s and what it looked like when it was actually there, like the film, the tone of everything, the colors used, like everything felt like it was actually in the '70s in X, in my opinion. I did not think they were in 2020 dressing just like they were in the '70s. I felt like they truly were in the '70s, and I think they did a great job of that.
Yeah, I think even the costumes, the way they did their hair, their makeup.
Even
Yeah.
how the film came off, like it looked almost dusty is the best way to put it.
Yeah, I definitely.
That tone.
It was, and I love it. I love that it's kind of like how they make. I don't think they do as good of a job in the '70s, but I think like they do a really good job of making it seem like they're in the '90s in a lot of these movies, right? So it's like, but like the '90s are kind of like it's almost easier to do those type of clothes and like makeup. So it's like,
right.
Even in what was the movie we watched, Fear Street, like that was like that was something that was set in the '90s, even though it was filmed now, which was cool.
And I was watching like Fear Street. I felt like there was nostalgia, but I didn't feel like that movie. I feel like that movie was still like a modern day filming. Just I understand we are modern day filming. This one just suspended my disbelief a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair. So you tell me like how you felt overall about X. We didn't really touch on it like you and I.
No, we didn't talk about this much until this is the first we're talking about this a bunch. But I feel like I was surprised it was a '96. I was really excited for this movie. I did see the trailer, so I was pumped about it. 96 on Rotten Tomatoes is wild. And so when I was watching this, and after I finished it, and I didn't feel like it was super scary, was part of it. And don't get me wrong, I loved the twist on just a standard slasher. There were some weird motives in there, but that's what they were going for. It just felt average to me. It's not a barn burner. Like there's movies that I felt like during quarantine when Host came out, it was like a return to found footage and stuff, and I thought that was a hit. So I don't watch this and say, oh, this is a hit. I'm gonna care about 2 to 3 years down the road, unless that's not a prequel or a sequel to this movie. If it's something that's just like Ty West has accolades, so it's fine. But if Ty West was a nobody director and this was one of his first projects, and then later they were like from the director of X, I don't know if I'd be busting down the doors to see it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it had a lot of great shots. I specifically noted some of the aerial shots that were there, the alligator shots. When the older couple later in the end's having sex, the guy in the shower, like those are aerial shots that are used a good bit. And I really liked those because it's like that paying attention to wanting a certain scene to come off a certain way, right?
Yeah. No, I completely agree. A thing like, so the 96 is very, I do feel like it's really, really high, like for this movie. And I wonder if you and I are just missing something that other people are not. Like,
I don't know. I understand the themes in there, and I understand just that it's different and that it's really well produced and the director's great and the act. Yeah. I want to ask you, I really enjoyed the acting. I thought the characters were likable. I thought they played their stereotypes and what they were supposed to be really well. So what do you think? That may have been one of the high points that gets that rating. That's
actually probably what helped me like really get into it there in the later, like it was kind of over the top at the beginning. That scene when they were like on the bed and she was like, I'm a great actress. And then she starts faking like,
just cause.
Yeah. And I was like, shit like that was kind of like over the top. And I was like, so, but once like the movie really started to get going, it was, I definitely, I was invested more for sure. And I was like, but still with that, like after watching it, I wonder if there's something, because, with Jordan Peele, there's a lot of subliminal messages that we just like, sometimes we miss some things like it's like, I wonder, it's so high. I think it's higher than us. And how much it's so like, what is Get Out rated at?
I know I would have to look it up.
Yeah.
But what do you like? So what do you think we're thematically, like when you look at Get Out and you look at Us, like, and you look at those higher rated Hereditary, the higher rated movies on Rotten Tomatoes
for horror.
Yeah. Those 96% is high for everything.
Right, but I'm saying
I understand what you're saying, but like 96%.
Yeah.
Bro, like we're not talking like 80. Oh, that's great. Clap.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
It's almost like, perfect.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I understand there's a few themes to sexuality and like kind of just they take that a different direction than people are used to. I think that rating is warranted by how unique this story is and the plot is, in my opinion. And how unique the
because Rotten Tomatoes, did they base ratings just based off of the uniqueness of a story?
No, but that factors heavily into it, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Give me a slasher where what if there was none of that adult film stuff? The killer was somebody that was just a cannibal in the woods, like a Wrong Turn or something, or have somebody lumbering around like Leatherface. Then it just becomes another movie that's free on Amazon Prime. And this low budget film. This went that different direction, and I think that's why it's being rewarded with higher ratings. People do really like this movie, though. We've seen it on social media. People do really like this movie, so it hit a lot of notes for a lot of people.
Yeah, I actually so Volante watched it. He like actually prior to me asking him about it, he didn't even know what that movie was first, and then he decided to watch it. He also thought it was weird.
You need a couple of drinks to get through it. And not like to like turn it off, but like it makes it significantly better.
Yeah, I didn't drink while I was sober. I was just laying. Yeah,
because it was a Sunday. So
yeah, yeah. I guess like the movie is what it is. Like that is for me. That's like the best way. If it's for me, that's like the best way to explain that movie. Like that movie is what that movie is. You don't see that anywhere else.
I don't know of any other movie that follows that pattern of it's a slasher. Yeah. And the beauty of horror, right, is you can paint so many pictures with so many different stories and go so many different directions. This was one that took an adult film out in a rural town rural area in Texas and turned it into a slasher about sexuality. Like you're not getting that in other genres. So that's what makes this special and different. And so that's why I think it was highly anticipated, is that it wasn't just the slasher comes through a rural family staying in a cabin. That's why Cabin in the Woods was so unique. Cabin in the Woods is not just people being killed off in a cabin. It's someone's pulling the strings the entire time and paying homage to all these horror tropes and everything. And doing a whole bunch of that stuff. So that makes it different and special. Cabin in the Woods, if they were just in a cabin and they just got tracked down by like zombies, what's so special about it? You know what I mean?
It's just another zombie movie.
Yeah. So so one thing we've glossed over is Jenna Ortega plays Lorraine, and she was in Scream that we just watched. She's also in a lot of good Netflix movies. So, and she plays like the director guy, Wayne. He keeps calling her Church Mouse, which I love throughout the entire movie. It's hilarious because she's so.
Oh my god! I didn't even realize that was her.
Yeah.
I didn't just look up what she just. I was like,
yeah, wow. She plays that role so well.
Yeah.
And I thought she was going to be the one that makes it out at the end, and we find out that it's Maxine that makes it out.
Mm-hmm.
Which that opens up a whole other can of worms. But what were some of your? Let's talk about some of your highlights and lowlights. Whether like 2 of each, 1 of each, 3 of each. I don't care. What were some highlights for you, and what were some things you really could have done with that? For
me, my favorite scene in that movie was the first kill from the old woman. Man, like it kind of threw me off. Like I said, even though I was expecting something there, I guess I just wasn't sure what. So I guess I wasn't expecting anything. It was like it made me actually not jump, but I kind of gasped. Right. I was laying in bed with Hannah, and I was like, "Oh," like I was like, "Oh my god!" And then I thought it was done, and she just kept stabbing and stabbing and stabbing.
The scene went on for a while.
Stabbing. Yeah, that was And then correct me if I'm wrong, but she kissed him at the end.
Yeah, she did.
After, yeah. So, and I was like, oh, that was beautiful. Just beautiful. I was like, that kiss did it for, I was like, it's so small and so simple, but it was man, that was probably my favorite scene. Thing I hated was just like, I don't hate this because like obviously I love looking at Brittany Snow's boobs, but like it was like I guess just the over the topness and it just dragged kind of like the first 30-40 minutes. That's pretty much it for me. But what about you?
So I got a few things. So
yeah,
I already mentioned some of the aerial shots, just those directorial touches that we talk about all the time. I thought were done pretty well. The color palette, I really liked the use of red throughout. That was really entertaining for me just as a viewer. Like it kept me engaged. Like I didn't feel like if I caught myself looking away from the screen and then something different happened like that where it wasn't just a standard shot, that brought me back in. You know what I mean? So that, like I mentioned the alligator shot, I'm glad the alligator got a payoff with Brittany Snow. Alligator, one of my favorite characters in the entire movie.
Yeah.
Little screen time. Honestly, he deserves more.
He should get paid.
Give
him his money, bro.
I know that CGI was incredible, or it had to have been CGI with how they did everything. So that was a high point. The acting was a high point to me. Like I said, Jackson Hole, best name of all time. Kid Cudi was hilarious in this. He plays like a 70s porn star.
He did a good job. He did pretty good. Yeah, he did really good. He did a really good job.
Yeah. And like another thing I just liked really minimal is just that it's different. I appreciated that.
Yes.
It kept me from being really sour on this. If it was standard, I don't know if I would have even said I thought it was kind of about average, above average. So that and things I could have done without really just wasn't that scary. So not anything I can do without, but it just wasn't crazy scary. I wish they would have ramped that up a little bit.
That's another thing too. I was like, and I feel like the last few movies that you and I have watched haven't really been scary.
Yeah, The Cursed wasn't super scary. That wasn't super scary. Scream wasn't super
scary. I think the last few things we've covered haven't really been like, oh shit, I'm scared. Like I don't like.
The last really scary movie I watched was The Dark and the Wicked.
Do you think we've grown numb to these movies?
No, I think it just takes more. The Dark and the Wicked scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
That's why I was like so hyped about that. Host scared the shit out of me. And that was Host was scary, bro. You didn't like that movie, but you don't like found footage.
I did not like. I liked it for the fact that it was like COVID, you know.
They have another movie coming out called Dash Cam that looks crazy. I saw a teaser to it today, so it looks crazy. But those are the main things that I liked / disliked in this. I felt like there was more to do with that storyline. Like they don't get me wrong, they did plenty with the premise in general. I just feel like I feel like there could have been more done. I was ready to bite off more than I could chew, and I felt like I bit off some and I wanted more.
It's a really great way to put that. Yeah.
I thought so too. Man, jeez.
Yes. Like they could have really done more.
And Ty West has a lot of good titles to his name. He has House of the Devil, The Innkeepers, VHS, like a lot of good things that he's attached to.
And and to us, maybe like this isn't like good, but like to everybody else, this is like a great thing he's attached to, right? Like
I would love, yeah, exactly. People that are really big on his work probably love this movie, and that's awesome. I really like his work too, and that's honestly how I felt about it. I would love to have a casual person that doesn't watch horror very often, except for big box office ones, watch this. Just to see.
Maybe we get Suna to watch this one.
Suna would be scared of this movie. So that's why we can't get him today. He'd be like, "Oh, there's a creepy old lady. No, thank you." I'm like, "No, she's driven by sex. Like, no, thank you."
Yeah, no. Oh man.
So he actually would think that would be scarier than her being like possessed by a demon.
Yeah, because okay, that's fair. So okay, now with all this, obviously, what would you rate this filler rating?
I do have one more thing to say before I rate it.
Yeah, go ahead.
The only thing is, because this is very important, I think, to this. The opening scene was them finding something in the basement, the cops. The ending scene, or not the ending scene, towards the end, Jenna Ortega sees that it's a guy that's been hanging up there and he's naked. It's not anyone that they're with. It's somebody else that's been hanging there. And that's when she screams, and that's when you get like a famous poster title card that you see all over the internet and all over social media. I read that this is setting up a prequel to see who that guy was and what's been going on, whether he's been there for a long time, whether he's been there only for a short time, or whether he was just the quote-unquote sex slave that she was using.
That would
get bunkers. I've heard it's already being shot.
That would be cool. Like
I think that's what it was.
I'd watch it, bro. Like that's dope. That's actually like that's a
very bloody disgusting setting, and they're very reliable.
Yeah.
They usually only break stuff when it's maybe not confirmed, but like in the works.
Yeah. And if like that's cool. And, like all these prequels or requels now, like
Well,
it seems to.
I'm cool. I'm cool with a prequel here. Requel. That's all. Those are, even though requels like a sequel, like those two are I put completely
Yeah.
from each other.
I'm saying like it just seems to be like the new wave that everybody's like doing now, right? Some kind of quel, whether it's a requel or prequel, a sequel, some type of quel.
I mean, that's really Justin. That's honestly the only way to have a second movie in a franchise. You just listed all of them.
Yeah.
you literally just listed all of them. So really, it's the only way to do it. Yes, it is the only way to do that, Justin.
He's cold. He's cold.
I was trying to think if there was any other possible way to make a movie. You could do a short film on the premise if you want. But yeah, I know you're asking me that. I had to mention that because I feel like that was a hot topic. And
no, that's great. I'm glad
you brought that
up. I'm glad we didn't just gloss over that. Seriously,
yeah.
Like,
so I feel like this movie. I really like the directorial touch. I liked the shots and everything. I didn't think it was very scary, so terror factor is low. Emotional investment. I didn't feel super attached to the characters outside of Jackson Hole. I was sad when he died. I really liked him. Brittany Snow getting the kill on the alligator. I wish the alligator would have got more screen time. It would have been phenomenal.
I was emotionally invested in the alligator.
Yeah, I care. I was like, when does the alligator come back up? Because that shot that took like 30 seconds of him coming across the lake, I was like, I was in there. I was invested.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I said, I wanted more. So I'm gonna give it a 2.5.
Oh, that's lower than what I was gonna give it, bro.
That's fine. I didn't think it was a bad movie. I thought it was a good movie.
I was actually
That's why I can't go under 2.5 in my opinion. Not you was. What are you?
I am giving it a 3. Like I wasn't scared, but I thought like the cohesiveness and like the directorial touch was there. Even though like it wasn't scary, the acting was good. I wasn't terribly like invested into these characters, except for the old lady. Like I was invested in her because like I wanted to know what this bitch was about, and the storyline was just like but like altogether, I couldn't give it lower than a 3 for me. So, I could tell you this though, if we had 100% rating, I wouldn't even be close to 96.
Yeah.
So,
sorry, camera got messed up.
Oh, it's all good, bro.
So I thought you were gonna rate it lower than me, honestly, and you rating it higher is surprising to me, but that's fine.
I get where 2.5 is though. Like I get you, bro. Like I just I mean I could go to like honestly, like it was either that or a 3. I guess I was just being nice this time around.
I feel you. So that's right. I give it a 2.5. Like I said, I wanted more, and I think that's why I can't rate it any higher. Justin gave it a 3. Justin, final thoughts. I know we got more content coming. We're gonna try to start posting more, which is one of the big things.
Yeah, man. I'm
just getting engaged again. We were really engaged with everybody for a while, and life happened. And getting back
now that like we're starting to get into the flow of things, and like once you move, I think things will start rolling out a lot better.
Yeah.
You know, but life happens. This shit happens, and this is what like it is what it is. So, I'm excited though. I can tell you that. Like I'm hyped. I think about it every day. Like I think about this shit every day, bro.
We got a lot of stuff coming up. Yeah, Black Phone's gonna be coming out soon. Like I said, that dash cam movie looks good on it. There's so many movies that are in the pipeline that we're gonna be able to cover soon. So we're halfway. We're past the halfway point of getting to Halloween. So I'm pretty pumped about that. But everybody, we appreciate y'all. That's our thoughts and review of X. We liked it. We wanted more. Last year, Justin doing another shot that he had gotten ready. So thank you all, Justin. Anything you want to say to the people on the outro, baby?
Like, share, subscribe. As always, man. Peace and love.
See y'all.